promise you, no one else on YouTube is doing this. I'm going to show you what not one, but multiple winning federal government proposals look like. And I have the receipts to go along with it. So get ready. So let's get into it. So this first one, it was for an exercise physiologist, a full-time equivalent position at an Air Force base. The thing is about this opportunity, the evaluation criteria, because that's where you need to begin. Anytime you're looking at an opportunity, begin with the evaluation criteria. It was lowest cost technically acceptable. So you'll notice this is the cover sheet. Pretty easy, pretty basic. You can make this in Word and we just save it as a PDF. Key information about the firm is here. Also, my flagship company is ISO certified, so the logo is there. There's a table of contents, because who wants to fumble around and trying to figure out where your things are? You need to make it easy for them, super easy. Over here is a corporate overview. It just has the same type of summary that you would see on the website, on LinkedIn, in your capability brief, as well as an image that provides a snapshot of what was shown up here. And as we continue, it's very important to highlight the awards that you've received, especially if you've received any from some type of customer. So those are noted. Then our approach. We have a particular approach that we use. It's all noted here. So then they can see, oh wow, they actually have an idea of how they're going to execute this. They're not just copying and pasting what was in the actual statement of work or performance work statement. They are showing us how they're going to do it. Also provide an image of the management team as well as our management approach. I think it's very important for government employees to see you, to really know that you're people, because it's easy when you read a piece of paper to be very dismissive. It's super easy, and psychology-based research shows that. You want to really connect with them, so they say, oh wow, okay, I see, wow, look at her team, that's awesome. Also included an org chart and a summary. Since this was an 8A competitive opportunity, we also included the contact information for our 8A rep. So recall, this is lowest cost technically acceptable, right? I went low, like low, like I'm limboing in some skates and I did like a Cardi B split. That's how low I went, y'all. Check this out, bam. Possible mistake in bid. Yes, the actual, contracting office sent this letter. Maybe it was a mistake, all of these different things. And I was like, wow, I have never in my life, I never received anything like this. But y'all, you know we're GovCon winners. Come on. This is the best channel for all of this. So what I ended up doing was writing a response explaining the pricing, as well as, once again, reiterating the pricing so that they knew it was not a mistake. It was strategic, because I already knew what the previous contract was worth. And I had a feeling someone was already performing the work. So our overhead was really low, because I knew we would just need to take that particular person and badge them over to KPC. And sure enough, we won. This contract is a little over, well over $250,000 actually. Did not provide the exact numbers here. And you'll also notice some information is blurred, because this is active work. And one thing in government contracting, you never, ever want to give away your pricing. You never do, because it's one of your competitive advantages. So you see here, this was issued, and when you receive something like this, you sign it and give it back to them. Therefore, you have that evidence. Hey, here's our contract. And in here, it details all the key information, especially how you invoice and other things of that nature. For the next example, this was a small business competitive opportunity. And this was at Patrick Air Force Base. I highlight this because this is where I got my start as a graduate research fellow at Patrick. Now they're Patrick Space Force. So I thought, oh, wow, this is an awesome opportunity because I had that connection to Patrick. I had a connection to the contracting office, and I thought, wow, this is awesome. Let's go into Catholic religious education coordinator space. Yes, y'all. You heard me right. The federal government procures a variety of religious positions for Army, Air Force, Navy, and bureaus of prison, as well as other departments. And in essence, they're just either part-time or full-time equivalents who are performing religious services at some type of chaplain or any type of other religious facility. So with this particular opportunity, this was another one that was really emphasized price. And so you see similar cover, changed up the images so that it looks and feels in alignment with the type of work. You'll also notice some of the contact information is blurred there just for privacy purposes. Included a table of contents, and they had also mentioned it was very important that you provide a requirement understanding. They required that. So when they note things in the actual solicitation, just use the title word for word so they're not guessing. Does this mean what we said in the document? I'm not really sure. You want to make it simple, super simple, like preschool simple. It's as simple as you want to make it. So here again, similar introduction. You see the box. It's a little different, similar setup. Here, I actually included an image of our IT guys. This was one of the awards that they won. And here really emphasized this Team of the Quarter award that my flagship company had awarded because this agency is at Patrick. So it's again to help build that trust, to show them, hey, if KPC receives this work, they are going to follow through. We're not going to have to worry about anything. Keeping it easy. Then one other thing that I like to do, because it's very important with the culture of KPC, is how we will make your life easier. It's a big tagline. It really reflects our culture. So we go into what those things are, how we're going to do it. And we talk about our other relevant past performance. We go into requirement understanding, deep into our understanding of what's needed. And then we couple that with some examples of other work that we've provided. Then we transition into management approach, because they also want to make sure that you're going to be able to properly manage staff, do things of that nature. So we go into management, same photo as before. And then also they had asked, is there any type of teaming or subcontract approach? No, we weren't using any. And then for past performance, provided some brief examples. And the reason that they're brief is because they did not ask for detailed information as far as the past performance. They did not ask for, how is this related to similarity, is it the same level of complexity? Did you have any issues? Did you have any awards? It was none of that. They just asked for some past performance. And what's key is you don't give them more than what they ask for. Because when you give them more than what they ask for, they're going to start questioning things. If they ask for past performance, you just give them past performance. You just write up a paragraph. And then bam, a summary, and that was it. And we ended up winning. Yes! So we won this contract. This was a 1-year contract, and of these that I'm showing you, this is the only one that we did not recompete, and there's reasons that we didn't do so, but this is another example for you. Now, one of my favorites, the example I'm about to show you is for a sole source. So many think, or I was kind of taught that if you were sole source something, you still want to present it at the same level as if you were competing, because you never want an agency to think, oh gosh, we're going to sole source it to them as a vet or as an 8A or woman owned. And look at this proposal. Oh my gosh, are they really going to be able to do the work? Look at all these typos. I can't believe they sent this to us. You never want that. You want them to say, we made the right decision based on the document you submitted. Each and every single time. That's what you want. So this particular opportunity is with the Navy, and it's through my joint venture. I am the majority owner of this joint venture, and they wanted a variety of training. And at this particular time, they wanted an emailed copy and a mailed copy. Thankfully, the federal government doesn't really request mailed copies anymore, and when things are mailed, often they would ask for printed copies as well as a DVD, because the thing about the federal government is some agencies are very leery about thumb drives due to security issues. So you'd have to burn a DVD, and then you got to create a cute little cover to put on the DVD. Oh my goodness, it was crazy, because where do you even go for all this stuff? You got to go to Office Depot. Oh my goodness, way too much. And as you can see here, there are different volumes, which is very common for more complex or larger award opportunities. This award was like right around 2 million, a little under, because there's been so many mods to it. It just, the number kind of fluctuates. And everything is outlined. And this is key in your cover letter. And again, this is brief. This is not a cover letter like you're trying to get a job. No. This is very brief, direct to the point, so they know, okay, this is what is entailed with the email in the package that was mailed. Then from here, we have a nice cover page, the logo of our joint venture. It's very important that you brand accordingly, a very detailed table of contents because of the nature of this work. This was not a full-time equivalent piece of work, and it still is not that type of piece of work to this day. This is the type of work where you're performing it off-site. So you have team members kind of performing it back here, and then you deliver based on your milestones, different deliverables to the government. The team members are not at the government location. They're not full-time necessarily. It's based on your arrangement of this work. The key is it's off-site. So there's different information here in the executive summary. Sometimes you're asked to provide this. Sometimes it's just really nice to provide it because it provides this nice, beautiful overview. And also I want to note, just because this is an 8-day set aside, it doesn't mean that the agency had to award it to us. They could have received this and said, oh goodness, oof, this is bad. Ooh, I don't want this. They could have easily done that, but they didn't. Then from here is a technical approach. You can see that this particular document is 12 pages. I've submitted proposals that were well over 50 pages. Sometimes they will put a page limit, 50 to 100 pages. So these can become very extensive, almost like a dissertation, y'all, almost like a dissertation. So here we talk about these different areas that were highlighted in the performance work statement. In other words, these different deliverables that they're looking for. So we go into it, and then we go into our process, our how. It's very important that you talk about your how. How are you going to do the thing that you said you're going to do? Also note that there are those outside of services where they just want price. I know with hotels, I believe with maybe some construction things, all they care about is your rate. Understood. But for those of you who are laser focused on services, the how is super important. And we go more into it, go deeper into it, and we're still going. Ooh, it's a lot, right? Still going into it. And then there's a summary. So in addition to this document, we also submitted pricing, right? So pricing, I like to submit pricing in an Excel sheet unless stated otherwise. I love an Excel sheet because then they can manipulate things. It just makes you feel good. Psychologically, it's like, oh, it's an Excel sheet. It makes sense. Dollars and cents inside of Excel sheet makes sense. Got it. Let's go. When people send things in Word documents and funky documents, people start to question the math, and you don't want that. You don't want them to think that they can't trust you based on your document. You don't want that. So we're ultimately awarded this opportunity. It's still ongoing. And this PDF was actually scanned, and you'll see some, fresh ink signatures. This will be blurred out, so you're not going to see their contact information and everything, but sometimes that happens too. And that's why it's really nice to have a copy of Adobe Pro, because then that way it makes it easy for you to manipulate all different types of documents. And no, this is not sponsored by Adobe Pro, y'all. I'm just trying to help you out. So I'm very grateful to each and every one of you for sticking with me this long, because these are real life proposals that I just showed you. And the only way you learn what a winning proposal looks like and how to put it together is through mentorship. And y'all know you're winners. You're amazing. You're GovCon winners. You need to subscribe. Comment below, did I miss anything? Any other topics I should cover? As well as, don't forget, everything is possible.